Hi guys, I'm Barb. Welcome and thank you for visiting my channel. Today we're going to work on making a cover for a low content or mid content book for uploading to KDP self-publishing. Now I'm going to use a product. It's an online software called Bookbolt. It does cost, they do have a free trial, but then there is a monthly cost of $9.99, or for the pro version, which includes a puzzle maze, it's $19.99. But let me show you how easy it is. I know so many of us struggle to get the right sizes for our book covers so they don't get rejected by KDP. So this is a no-fail product for making those covers. But it's just one of many products. So I'm signed into my account here. So I'm going to go down to Bookbolt, where designer, yeah, and then I'm going to sign in. And I'm going to tell it that I want to make a cover, and I'm going to tell it what size I want to make that cover, and we're going to go with say an 8 by 10. And we're going to tell it white paper. And the reason you have to tell it white paper is because if this was a book that had coloring in it and you were going to use the colored paper, or let me pull it up here. Yeah, colored paper interior. It would be a little bit thicker, and so the spine of the book would have to be a little bit bigger. So that's the purpose for that. And you can see all that if you click settings here. It's going to take you basically to the KDP page, where it's going to tell you about the different types of inks and that they use for premium color, standard color, black ink, and so forth, and the different types of papers and weights, and depends on how many pages you also use. So let me get back off of that page. So back onto the templates here. So we're going to tell it white paper, and we're going to say 120 pages, because we're going to do say a notebook or something, and that's the most common number of pages, I think. And let's go back up to the 8 by 10. Okay. One thing I want to point out to you too, if you're doing hardcovers, they do have the template for the hardcovers now, which I think is really progressive. So we're going to hit submit, and it might take a few minutes, not few minutes, it just takes a few seconds here for it to make that template for us. All right, here we go. Well, the first thing I want to do, I want to show you right here. You can see the cover. And this is the right side, or the front of the cover. This is the back of the cover. The left side's always the back, the right's the front. And this is the spine, where the book folds, and then they do the gluing or stapling, however they do it. Okay, and these are the guidelines. You don't want anything important to go outside of these guidelines here. Now, of course, on the cover of a book, you're going to want your design to go all the way to the edge, so you don't have any white or anything along the edge. And then this is the spine. These are the guidelines of the spine. Okay, and so the spine of this book is only going to be these two guidelines here. All right, so the first thing I want to do, let's show you a very simple way. So I'm going to add color. I always put color behind any design that I put on the book. So you could have this be the color of your, oh, I don't know, let's just call this a notebook. So you could have this be the color of the book. And then let me see what I got in here. They offer some images under resources. You can look for things, and you can also upload any images you want. But let's put this little picture of these dogs here. Okay. So this corner down here is to resize the image. This corner up here lets you flip that, rotate that image. This one's going to get rid of it up here on the left, this red X, or the red box. And then this one would let you duplicate it, but I don't need a duplicated image, so we're going to get rid of one. So I'm going to move it over here. Now, if I was to keep this, excuse me, this size, I want to make sure that it's centered in here. All right, so let's go and add some text to this. So let's pick this. And we're going to pull this up here, and there you can see that line that shows you've got it in the middle of the page, and it's talking about from here to here. It's not taking into account this over here. Okay, so let's make that a little bigger. You can also make it darker. Let's choose, no, not that color. Let's use black. All right, so right now we've got this in black. Now you can see, if you click on it again and go up here, you could choose yellow. So let's leave it in yellow for right now. By no means are we trying to make a quality book right now. I'm just trying to show you how to do a few things with Bookbolt. Okay, so we've got that. If we go up here to edit text, you can type in here whatever you want. So let's call this a dog journal. All right. You can also, here you can change the font size. You can change the letter spacing. You can change the letter. Well, that one didn't do anything. I think I've got it too big already. Let's make it a little smaller and see if it does something. Do that. And then we'll go up here and we'll say, okay, I guess for that particular one it doesn't do anything. Maybe it has to be a certain font. And you can choose from many different fonts. They've got so many already on here. You can upload fonts. You can upload your favorite fonts, and you can also click here and get more fonts. So there's plenty of fonts for you to do. If you click there again and you go to this, you can do text effects. So like if you wanted to curve it, you can make it like spread it out any way you want to, the radius of that curve. If you go this way, the curve will go up. But I don't want that. Let's go back to normal. You can say that you want to do this. I don't know what that's called, a bridge effect, it says. You can go to this oblique and do that. That might be cool on some journals. Okay, but we're just going to use normal right now. So this is pretty plain. If you look at it right now, it's just a picture of some dogs with a colored background and then the text dog journal. And one of the things, this is a whole discussion for another video, but you want to make sure that you're making quality, not just quantity, not just the number of books that you're making to upload to KDP. You need to make sure they're quality if you want them to sell. Okay, so we've got dog journal. Let's go to shapes over here. Go down here to this rectangle, and we're going to put that right there. Then we're going to go up here to arrange layers and say back, and now the dog journal is going to come in here. So let's make these words maybe a little bigger. Let's make this one maybe a little smaller, like so. Okay, and now that's okay, but let's maybe just touch it up a little bit more. So let's go down here and we'll click this rectangle again. We don't need it that big by any means. Pulling it in by the arrows here, and let's make it a different color. So let's go up here and we'll click color. Let's do the yellow again. So we're going to stick that up there. Range layers to the back, to the back. There we go. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller yet so that it just, I want the back one. There we go. Needs to be a little bit bigger. I just want this to, I want that one. I want the black. You just got to play with it and move it back and forth to get things the way you want them. But what I'm trying to do is just make, and I could do it before I had put the words in there, but okay, so right about there. So it just makes it a little bit nicer looking. If I've got the yellow background, then I've got the black, then I've got more yellow. So it just steps it up a little bit more. If you want to click these all together, we could just, there we go, and we can move them all at one time to kind of where we want them. So I'm just going to say right there. Okay, so there's that. Now you can also, if you wanted to, now this is what did we say, 120 pages? So we've got a little bit of a spine here. So if we take that rectangle again and let's spin it around, I guess we didn't really have to, because we could just used our arrows and things to make it bigger. But let's go, we're going to stretch it all the way down to cover our spine, and then we're going to bring it in. Now you can, if you want to, when it's just a line of color like this, you can cover your spine and a little bit onto the front and back if you really want to. Some books I've seen that on. I always try to get mine to cover the spine plus a little bit more. So basically this kind of area here, the brown, see that kind of light and brown area? Basically that's what I try to do. Okay, so that it comes across the spine and then a little bit more. Okay, so then if you want to, you can also put a design of, you can put words back here on the back cover, you can put images on the back cover. Like if you were to upload, let me go to images, say you just uploaded this dog, these dogs and these cats, or a coloring book page, whatever you wanted to, you could put those on the back of your cover. You can put anything you want to back here, okay? You just want to stay within those guidelines. If you wanted to add text and put your name back here, if you had a logo, whatever you want to put back there, you can put back there. Okay? And then you would download this. You'd hit this download button, and it's going to save it for you in a PDF form, which is what KDP requires. And then you're ready to upload this to KDP. Okay, so I wouldn't upload this, but it's just to show you how it's done. So one more thing, let me show you. You could, if your spine is wide enough here, you could add some text on your spine, and your text on the spine should say the same thing as the dog journal. You don't want to be in two different things. So if we went, let's go to text, and what do we want to say? We'll use the same print. We're going to turn it around, and then we've got to squeeze it, and you can enlarge. If you go down to zoom here at the bottom, you can enlarge so it's a little bit easier to work with, so you can see what you've got. And this is a little bit too big. If you see that in and the 0 and some of these, they're a little bit too big, so we need to make sure that all that is going to fit right here between these lines of the spine. Okay, so we've done that. It clearly fits. It doesn't run over the dotted line here, and it doesn't run over the dotted line here. Okay, let me click on my, is that my black? Yeah. So there's my black. It helps you see where you're putting the black. I want my black to be just where this brown is, or maybe just a little bit over. Okay, so there we go. And then we'll bring it back to normal size. And even though it doesn't look like it right there, but you can look in here and you can see that you've got it between those lines. Okay, all right, so there it is, ready to download. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Think. Get rid of all this stuff here. I guess I could have just said File, Clear All. That would have been the easiest thing to do. And let's go up here to Product, and we'll start back with a white thing again. Okay, so let me see what I've got in my images here, what would work. How about this kitty? Let's make this kitty a lot smaller though. Let's go up here to Product, and what would be a good color? Maybe a blue. Okay, so see this little cat here? We're going to go up here where it says Patterns, and you can pick anyone you like. My favorite is the vertical bricks repeat, and it's going to throw that little cat image. It's a repeating pattern, and that's really cool thing to do with certain things. Okay, so let's just say we had that. Let's throw in our shape, or how about a comment box? I don't want pattern for this. I just want my comic box, and we're going to throw a big old comment box over here, and then I don't know what you want to say, fiddling cats, or you could just do anything you want to. So that's one way to do it. Get rid of, let me see. There, I got rid of that. What else can you do? Let me get rid of this image. Let's say go back to clear all. Clear all. Okay, and then we'll go back to product. Okay, so another thing, if you wanted to put an image to cover the, just say the entire front and the back and the spine, let's go to images. Okay, this one. Now you could try to stretch this, and sometimes it just, well, let's put it up in this corner. It'll work better. You just want to cover the pink lines or whatever color they are on your screen, and then you could try to stretch it, but it might, if it's not a vector or something, it might make these all wonky shaped, and that's not a real cool look. If it makes it too big and weird, see how they change shapes? So you could do that if you're okay with that. You could probably make it a little smaller so it's not quite as wonky. Let's go up here. Move it. Get up there. Move it a little bit, and then try to bring it down. You just play with it, move it around, play with it. And I'm okay with that. So then you could go ahead and you'd put your title here again. Whatever you want to do. If it's a notebook, put it up here. I don't like black with this, so what would be a really good, I guess you could go with the outline of right here. It's showing you the colors down here that are involved in the design of this. So let's go up here. Let's just go with that for one of them. Then let's do another shape, because I told you I like to. And since we're just going to do this, let me color it before I put it up there. We're just going to do this as a plain old notebook. So you could put this in here, stretch it out, get it just the way you like it, and then go to text up here. Stretch it out, whatever size you want it to be, and then tell it. I'm going to shrink the text before I even start this time. Okay. Composition. Let's make it even smaller, because that's not going to fit very good. Notebook. Okay, and then you can enlarge it. If you want to have it say something else right there, it can say something else, like, I don't know, composition notebook, maybe a place for a name right here, or the number of pages that's in there. So let's go back up here, and I'm gonna go on down here and say 120 pages. You could do that, or you could, and you can make that part of it smaller if you want to, or you could say belongs to, and just move that over. Whatever you want to do to them works. Okay, so that's just a couple of ways that you can make covers with Bookbolt for KDP that they won't reject. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. If you would like, subscribe and hit the bell. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps my channel. Thank you guys, and come back again.